this week's newsletter that Doug's put out. Really good newsletter. Doug, give us some highlights.
Okay, let's do a little around the country. Not much going on, just some reminders for a lot of people in various states. But I will talk about a lawsuit that was filed that is accusing Alaska of unconstitutionally mismanaging salmon fisheries. All we have is a gentleman's name, and I think the only thing I can do is this week follow up on that and find out what's really going on here. So there's not a lot of detail. Moving on, we want to talk about boating safety, and the reason is that there was an article pushed out that reveals the top 3 mistakes boaters make when using VHF radios. Now, I know, Don, that's a bugaboo for you because of your Coast Guard affiliation. I get it. So the first failure is to get an MMSI number. I assume that's kind of verify who I am type of number?
Yeah, that's a Maritime Mobile Service Identity number that brings the VHF into the modern age of digital selective calling, which is called DSC VHF. And it makes a big difference. You know, it can identify your radio, and it's a big deal, especially if you're summoning emergency assistance. And that'll give your EMTs, a first responder, a precise location on the water.
You bet.
I would say nine out of people don't know how to tell the first responders exactly where they are. I mean, they're right in the middle of
probably not.
An emergency incident, and things have a tendency to get scrambled.
Well, it's not expensive. You can get one for $25, and you can do that at boatus.com/MMSI. Number 2 in the slot is, and number 3 is kind of pulled in there too, is forgetting to speak slowly and clearly.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, if the people you're talking to can't understand what you're saying because you're talking too fast, it's of no value.
Well, that's true, and it happens more often than not during an emergency situation. You get somebody that's
I'm sure.
already hurt, and then you have other people in the vessel that gets all ramped up on adrenaline, and then you get somebody on the radio that's help me. Come on, you got to slow down and enunciate clearly, and give your vessel number. This is Alpha 029er. I am located at the mouth of Butcher Jones Harbor, or whatever the case is. Give them as much precise, slow, clear information as you can. They're going to get there quicker.
Yep. And conversely, they want you to get off of Channel 16 as much as possible, because if I understand it correctly, Don, the Coast Guard listens to Channel 16.
Yeah, but there are other ways to visit with your friends. The newsletter says, think of VHF Channel 16 as a street corner where you go to meet up with your friends before heading out to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, more importantly, the Coast Guard monitors 16 for emergency radio traffic, and that doesn't make it any easier on the first responders that are listening to Channel 16 waiting for an emergency stress call. There are other...
The article recommends 68, 69, 71, 72.
Roger that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Get everybody to stay on those channels, we'd be better off, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
10-4.
Well, we want to shout out to Jeff Gustafson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Who happened to locate $300,000 at the Bassmaster Classic Gold. Oh, amazing. This boy brought in a total of 42 pounds, 7 ounces. Holy Moses.
Yeah.
So he did a great job. Congratulations, Jeff.
That's just the beginning. There's going to be endorsements and all kinds of things in his favor.
Got it. Arizona native, John Mullins, wins the Arizona State High Power Silhouette Championship. That was down in Mesa, Arizona. Gosh, great event. Doesn't give me anything other than he probably got a plaque or a badge, and I don't know what else he got.
You get a cookie.
He got a cookie. Congratulations, John.
No, that is a big deal.
It probably is.
Well, he engaged 10 chicken-size targets at 200 meters, 10 pigs at 300 meters, 10 turkeys at 385 meters, and 10 rams at 500 meters with the centerfire rifle cartridge.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I mean, yeah, if you can nail those, so buddy. At any rate, moving on, not weekly, but periodically we do report on dams that are being pulled down to allow salmon to make their runs easier because these dams don't let these fish get by. Well, we have one in particular this week called the Kennebec River, and this is up in Maine. They are looking at 4 different dams they would like to pull down. The problem being, and you can see the picture in the newsletter, there's only one access these fish have going up what's called the Sandy River, when they would love to go back to their original territories going up to Kennebec. But they can't. There's nothing there to allow them to get up. The few fish ladders they have are so small that they don't get the numbers up that river like they used to get. So that's in the news. We have, of course, up in Minnesota, it's got an issue with invasive carp. And gosh darn, that whole problem in that Mississippi line, that water line, and all the feeders coming into that Mississippi are allowing these carp just to go anywhere and everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you control this. I just don't know how you control it.
Well, they've had an opportunity to figure it out for about 2 decades. I mean, this is old news. It's a problem that continues to grow and get out of hand at every turn. Now, and here's some of the fallacy. Other places in the world use this as a protein food source. In America, carp has a bad rap, bad reputation, and they're actually quite tasty. There's been other instances. We talked to years ago some entrepreneurs that were catching these guys for fertilizer, pig food, and beyond. And I don't know if that has gone away. It needs to be explored again. Because, Doug, some of these things get up to, over 40 pounds. I mean, we're talking some ginormous fish here.
Oh, yeah.
And, Americans are just... Two things come to mind. We used to consume horse flesh in this country up until 1985. And because of the pandemic of the big, beautiful brown eye disease that's going around, horses are held to a high esteem. They've morphed into wildlife. They're not wildlife. They're feral animals. They need to be contained. They need to be removed from the landscape. And I'll argue the point with anybody who wants to argue it. So either that or they go stand on the freeway. Either way, I'm good. The carp are the same way. There are third world countries that's all they got. They eat it. They like it. They like it. It tastes good. What's the point? So anyway, it's just that it's like when you go to Costco, you go in the seafood department, you don't see silver carp. Just saying.
Well, then why aren't we netting these by the ton and shipping them over to China?
America's not that smart.
Apparently not. I mean, they're the food source in the Middle East.
Yeah, send it to China, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I got a better one. Just boycott China. Don't send them anything.
That's even better yet.
Yeah. They need free birth control.
You think that'll do it?
Mandatory. The CCP was telling you how many kids you could have or how many kids you couldn't have. So they're controlling everything, to buying everything in the U.S. We own billions of dollars. The trade deficit is keep going, and we got a bunch of morons in the White House on the Biden administration cabinet. Think about that. Mental health on the Biden administration is at pandemic levels.
I should have never said the word China.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least, Stromluger is reintroducing the Marlin Model 336 Classic Lever Action Rifle. This is a Model 3030, and it looks like the old Marlins that I can remember. Beautiful looking rifle. It's not on their website yet, but they don't have a price tag on it, so I can't tell you anything about it other than the fact that they are now manufacturing these. So that's it, Don.
When's that rifle going to hit the market? Do you know?
I have no idea. I was out there earlier during the show trying to figure something out. And if it's not on the website and there's nothing in their updates, I can't really tell you. I don't know when it's going to hit.
Boy, that would be a great truck gun.
Oh, yes. Man. Easy rifle to carry around in the woods, you know?
Well, you mentioned the Henry, they call it a slide action. I call it lever action. But that's about $900, and that's the downgraded model. The black and silver lever action slide gate, almost $1,100, and the Marlin Model 336 Classic in a satin blue lever action rifle and in a 3030 is $1,100.
Oh my!
And this is as opposed to the Winchester Model 94 Trails N takedown lever action in a 3030. That thing is $1,400. So.
Yep. Well, I have that, and I have my golden boy, I call it, the 45 long Colt. So that's a great rifle. I just love that rifle.
Yeah, boy, they sure jumped up there in price.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're in that 14 to 16 area. I don't know for sure. I'm glad I bought mine when I did. I only had to pay $800 for it. Oh, so, there you go. All right, Don.
Okay, man, I appreciate it. Hey, guys, if you don't have the newsletter, you can sign up for it at huntingfishing.com. Doug does a great job. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook. I'm Don McDowell.